And now, from 12 Studios, this is News 12 Now.
Today is Wednesday, August 14th. Welcome to News 12 Now. I'm Kylee Dedmon. New this afternoon, at least 20 Republican members of the Oklahoma House of Representatives have signed a letter calling on House Speaker Charles McCall to allow a formal investigation to begin into State Superintendent Ryan Walters to determine if there are grounds to impeach him. The letter, written by Mark McBride, lists several of Walters' recent actions described as alarming. McCall says he will not consider the request because the Senate has not called for action. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is now offering a reward of $1,500 for information regarding the destruction of a bald eagle nest. The eagle nest was destroyed on private land on West Lamberth Road in Sherman last spring. If anyone knows any information, you are asked to call the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. The maximum penalty is 1 year in jail and $100,000 for the first offense. A Dallas man is in the Love County Jail accused of robbing a woman. Court documents say Jordan Taylor took a $100 bill out of the hands of a woman and then took off. He was then arrested by Light Horse Police but escaped from the peace officer. He is currently in the Love County Jail facing several charges, including escape from arrest, resisting arrest, and a second-degree robbery. A man was arrested in Paris Tuesday on an outstanding felony warrant for injury to a child. Paris police say 28-year-old Chad Boteger allegedly abused a child in his care back in May. Police arrested him near the 1200 block of East Kaufman Street without incident. This is an ongoing investigation. And a domestic violence call led to the discovery of several items stolen from the Ada area. Monday, the Ada police responded to a domestic violence incident. There, they suspected the presence of narcotics. Coming back with a warrant, law enforcement officials found several items associated with narcotic distribution, along with many items reported stolen from Ada. Jeffrey Tyler Crosby has been booked into the Pontotoc County Justice Center on charges of domestic violence, kidnapping, distribution of a controlled dangerous substance, and possession of stolen property. Now, we will keep you updated as the investigation continues.
Here we go again. Yet another hot day in progress across Texoma. Temperatures already well into the 90s for several of us. And yeah, it's only going to be getting hotter from there. But what makes it worse is that we are also throwing in quite a bit of humidity still, especially across southern Oklahoma from recent rains. So that is making it feel even hotter there. 101 in Ringling, 100 in Colgate, 100 in Atoka, 100 in Antlers, Hugo, and 103 in Paris. So yeah, definitely not comfortable, and it's only going to be getting worse as we head into this afternoon. So again, very, very similar to yesterday. Triple digits expected pretty much area wide. Lots of sunshine, maybe a few puffy cumulus clouds, and a light little southerly breeze. Feels like temperatures could be pushing maybe 110 at times. So definitely continue to practice your heat safety. And yeah, it's going to be like this for a little while longer. So we're going to let you know how long this latest heat wave is going to stick around here in a little bit, but back to you.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Well, 2 toddlers are hospitalized after being ejected from a Jeep during a major crash. It happened in Harris County on Sunday. Video from the scene captures both kids sitting in the middle of the freeway in diapers. Jessica Willie has more.
It's shocking to see that.
The unbelievable aftermath of a crash on I-10. 2 young children wearing only diapers sitting in the middle of crashed debris.
The dad was running towards
They are stirring here, but initially Victor Cordova,
I saw the little kids laying on the ground.
Feared the worst.
I thought they were actually, they passed away. I thought they were dead.
It was Sunday evening around 7 o'clock on the East Freeway near Beltway 8. Victor was driving home. Traffic had slowed and then parted, incredibly missing the children. Harris County Sheriff's deputies responded to the 2-car crash, the impact flipping the Jeep the children were in and then sending them flying. Their father, 25 years old, according to the sheriff's office, running back to them, Victor was relieved.
Saw them kind of getting up and moving and trying to get up. I felt a little bit better as far as that, but I knew there was still some injuries.
The sheriff's office tells ABC 13 the investigation is not complete, but the father could face criminal charges for not restraining his children.
Crawl out of the Jeep.
That is why Victor, a father himself, shared his video.
For parents and for everybody, even if it's a short distance, to awareness of make sure you secure your kids properly.
And his thoughts are with this family.
Prayers to them to make sure they get well.
Well, 2 firefighters are recovering from injured knees after fighting a Marshall County grass fire. Fire Chief Mike Eidelman says they were on the back of a truck responding to the fire near Highway 99C in Marshall County early yesterday afternoon. Eidelman says that truck hit rough terrain and the firefighters were thrown off. They were treated at a local hospital. It's caused a spark coming off of a hay cutter that struck a rock.
Smallest spark right now will spark a fire, and it don't take much. It don't take much at all.
12 acres of pasture were burned. The fire was put out an hour later. The Marshall County Task Force helped MFD keep it under control. Well, Sherman's Silicon Prairie is getting a new kind of chip production. Sedco approved a $50 million corn and flour tortilla and chip manufacturing plant called Easy Foods. The up to 200,000 square foot facility will be located on 30 acres in Progress Park 6. Easy Foods will be built near a corn mill that Sedco approved last month, making production easier for both companies. And Texas is suing General Motors over how it handles driver data. The state's Attorney General, Ken Paxton, says GM collects an array of data on vehicle owners, which may include how many times they exceed speed limits or violate other traffic laws. The suit says GM then sold that data to companies who went on to sell it to insurance companies. Paxton also says GM deceived customers by encouraging them to enroll in programs like OnStar Smart Driver. General Motors has not yet responded for comment. Well, nearly a year after a gunman opened fire at the Texas State Fair, law enforcement and fair officials announced a new policy that bans guns altogether, and some state lawmakers are pushing back. Last year, 3 people were injured in a shooting at the State Fair of Texas. This year, fair officials made it a gun-free zone, banning both open and concealed carry. Officials say the fair will have a large law enforcement presence, but for some, that's not enough. More than 70 Texas state representatives have signed a letter calling for the fair to reverse its decision. Local Representative Reggie Smith, who signed the letter, says the best way to keep people safe is by allowing them to carry.
I would like to see all gun-free zones banned. I just think it's a bad idea. I think you need to have a law enforcement presence, and I think that folks also should have the right to protect themselves.
Smith says if the fair doesn't reverse its policy, the Texas legislature may consider banning all gun-free zones in the next session. The State Fair of Texas opens on September 27th. And Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton also responding to the State Fair firearms policy, saying it unlawfully infringes on Second Amendment rights. Paxton sent a letter to the city of Dallas warning it to withdraw the statement made by the State Fair of Texas that prohibits citizens from lawfully carrying a firearm on the premise. A press release says Paxton is giving the city 15 days to correct course before he files a lawsuit. And taking a look at good for Texoma news, now a food pantry for Denison students is coming soon thanks to a generous donation, but it also means a bittersweet goodbye for the community. The program will be called Lions Lockers. Last night, the Junior League of Grayson County received a donation of $20,000 to fund it, but it comes at a cost. This money was the remaining balance in the Denison Lions Club account because they decided to discontinue their chapter.
And we have decided to pass the torch on to this lovely organization that seems to be growing and thriving.
For now, this is the end to Denison's Lions Club, but members say this donation ensures a continuation of their service.
Thank you for watching today's News 12 Now. Make sure to subscribe so you find out why Texoma turns to us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, where you'll see more social media exclusive content. Want more News 12 Now? Watch us live every weekday through the KXII app on your phone or TV and through our website.